What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another Done Differently video. My name is Bastian, and in this video I'm going to talk to you guys about how many Powerwalls you should get, and I'm also going to be going over my Tesla solar roof design review, the first preliminary one. Alright, so if you guys are new to this channel, my channel is all about the Done Differently approach. I cover a lot of tech, a little bit of how-to, and kind of like smart money invest. Obviously, a lot of this is my own experiences, and I make a ton of mistakes, but I'm taking you guys along the way, and let's get started. Alright, so I want to just say this first and foremost. Really, I think most people don't need a Tesla Powerwall. It's an absolute luxury, and if you're just replacing your roof, you're just fine with just a solar system. But since you are gonna be in the process of changing your electricity panels, it makes a ton of sense to get a Powerwall, especially if you're thinking about, longevity of your system and, understanding how electricity costs potentially are going up. So it might be really useful for you to store the electricity. There is a little bit of weird Powerwall math going on that I've noticed on Tesla's website. There's definitely cost savings if you get one over another. And I did a lot of in-depth analysis, 1 versus 2, and I'm just gonna throw that out there. No one needs 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 10 unless you're I don't know, mining Bitcoin. But yeah, it seems pretty excessive to get more than 2 in my opinion. But considering also with the current situation, everything going on in Texas, I'm sure a lot of those people wish they would have some sort of backup power source. Hopefully you guys find this very useful, and you guys will be able to make a decision whether you get 1, 2, or none. Seriously, none is really a great option if you just get the roof. All right, we're about to jump into the spreadsheet here, but before we get into that, I made a video about why I was wrong about the Tesla solar roof, and I made a video prior to this why I didn't think this Tesla solar roof made sense. So if you guys want to kind of understand my thought process along the way and how I got here, I'm gonna link the video up here. Check it out. So without further ado, let's just jump into the spreadsheet, and we're gonna start with going over the Tesla Powerwall comparison, kind of the pricing that you see. All right, before we get in the super exciting world of spreadsheets, I just pulled up 2 screens right here. This guy is the solar roof, and this guy is solar panels. I just did this basically to show you a little bit of a difference, how it looks compared to the solar panels. What I didn't understand is why there was no price for one if I get solar panels. Really don't understand. I guess it's a different price. Basically, the price remains pretty constant if you just bump it up. So it is $1,700 for 2 of them, and then it goes up to $2,350. The main reason really why I wanted to show this is because according to Tesla, with one battery, with that one Powerwall battery, you can back up your lights, your plugs, and 120 small appliances, and a gas dryer, which takes 120 volts. And apparently if you have 2, you'll start getting into the air conditioner and all those other things, electric dryer and equipment. Those all draw a lot of current. So I'm not exactly sure if they're saying that you can not back that up with one battery, as far as, the capacity of doing it, or if it's just not necessarily feasible because you drain your battery super fast. So there's definitely some changes between getting 1, 2, and 3. Basically going 3 upwards, you have endless possibilities of really what you want to do, according to Tesla. Although I think getting 3 or getting more than 2, I think is unnecessary for most people. So I just wanted to show that, so let's hop into the spreadsheet. All right, so here's my spreadsheet. I've basically did the calculations based off the size of my roof. That's the estimate that solar put out, and I bumped up my electricity bill by $100. This is the Tesla solar roof. And then basically I did a little bit of a cost calculation, how much it would cost you monthly and how large of a system you would get, and the price of it, the net price. And then here's the delta, so the price bump. So the math shows me that every 0.4 kilowatt it costs you around $824, more or less. So, every bump, this is basically reverse engineering Tesla's price calculation algorithm a little bit, but every bump is about $824. There is a slight difference going from, let's say, 6.8 kilowatt to 7.3 kilowatt. I sized my system at a 7.3 kilowatt system, and I priced it out with 1 battery versus 2 batteries. And there's actually a difference between getting 1 and 2 as far as cost goes and as far as savings goes. I'm gonna go over this and all the calculation here. The system size is 7.3, I left that, and there's no price changes. If you get 1 Powerwall, it costs you $7,500. 2 Powerwalls cost you $1,500. So as I was mentioning earlier, I really don't understand the whole Tesla math that's going behind it. Just looking at the website we did just now, the 1 versus 2 Powerwalls had a different price, and this is the price that I looked up on my project. So I can't really tell you exactly what the difference is coming from. That's how it was priced for me in my system. So then the gateway, there's no difference. The gateway, basically what it does, it lets your system communicate with Tesla and through the app and all those things. Jumping from 1 battery to 2 batteries, apparently it is less effort to install 2 batteries than it is 1 battery. Probably isn't, but they just want to give you a discount and incentivize you to purchase a second one. So there's about a $500 savings for a second one. If you were to compare that to coming back later and adding a battery, you're probably gonna have to pay $3,500 again to get it installed. Installation and solar roof, they're gonna give you, with a Powerwall, they're gonna give you an additional $500 off. There's another Tesla savings. So everything that you see in green is, basically a savings. Now that's the general loan price. That'll be $6,500. So basically subtracting the 500 and 500 from this price, there'll be about a $6,500 increase because you're getting 2. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and this is why I think it's important to look at this information. Not only is your solar system going to get a 26% federal tax rebate, but also your Powerwall. So that means that your system actually, you're going to get about a $1,690. Again, these are my numbers that I saw on my system. You're going to get about a $1,690 larger federal tax rebate, which, it's not insignificant, I'd say. Now, there is select utility companies. Some of them have incentives. I'm with Southern California Edison, so that basically remains the same. You may or may not have this. All right, so the next thing is the price after the incentives. So obviously there's going to be an increase going from 1 battery to 2 batteries. So your deltas, you're gonna be paying about $4,810 more. So in Southern California, there's a program that is called Self-Generating Incentive Program, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it is basically incentivizing homeowners and businesses to purchase battery backup solutions to de-stress the grid and go into a renewable future. Anyways, there's different tiers it's in. I was talking to my advisor. We're currently in the tier of getting $1,736 per Powerwall. This is a huge difference jumping from 1 to 2 because that is an additional $1,736 difference rebates. So without any prepayment, because Tesla has a strange financing option, without prepayment, your monthly will be, with the 7.3 kilowatt and 1 battery, you will be paying $538 a month, and you'll be paying $408 a month for 2 batteries. So that's $50 a month. That's the impact it's gonna be having on your monthly bottom line. So if that's something that you feel comfortable with, $50 not a big deal for you, then I would probably be strongly considering this. But let's keep going here. Let's keep going. Let's take a look at the tax and incentives totally. So I summed up the whole incentives. You're getting about $10,948 versus $14,374. That is a $3,426 difference in tax incentive. So percentage-wise, you're looking about a 3.5% tax incentive difference. So you're getting about 3.5% more. That is not a little bit of money, and these incentives are not going to be around forever. So take a look at that. Now this is just your state and a federal incentives. So you may not have, so the SGIP, you may not have this one, or you may not have like a utility rebate, right? So this, then you would just have the federal one. So keep that in mind. This is for my system. Your mileage may vary. On top of the Tesla incentives that they're giving you, because they're giving you $500 here and $500 there for getting a second battery. So your total rebates are $12,448 on 1 battery and $16,874. So that is about a 4,000. So now we're going from 3,426 to 4,026. It's basically $1,000 difference. That's, that's what you're seeing here. With the difference that this one has another SGIP, again, this is just from my market, so that includes that. What I'm looking at in my system, I'm looking with the Tesla, federal and state incentives, everything all around. I'm looking at a total rebate of 27.18% with 1 battery and 32.26% with 2 batteries. So that's a 5% difference, which is a lot. So this is the number that everyone cares about. So I did the math, and the total cost for my battery, my second battery, is $3,074. I haven't decided yet because regardless, this is a ton of money. and everyone should make sure that you can stomach this. If you're financing it or paying it cash, you're getting the second battery basically for $3,074, or I would be getting the second battery for that price, which is pretty phenomenal in my opinion. All right guys, I hope that didn't bore you guys too much with this. This is just a little bit of math. You know, I had to prove to the wife that this system actually makes sense, that the savings for a second battery actually makes sense. Again, we have not decided yet, although these numbers look fantastic. If you're running like this, it is a larger cost, and we haven't decided whether we want to go down that second battery route or the first battery route. We just don't know yet. So next, I want to jump into the analysis of the first design that Tesla sent me. All right, so once you place your order, they're going to do an automatic analysis of your roof. So Tesla does a lot of automation, so they're basically going to grab satellite imagery of your roof, and they're going to basically run it through the first course before another person looks at it. Now, why do I mention this? It's really important because that very first pass, they will make mistakes. Just from my instance, they didn't take into account that I'm getting the power from the roof, like basically overhead, and they had to redesign that system. Basically, once you get the very first pass, they're going to send you, basically through your Tesla account, a solar roof product information sheet, which has your design included in it. So I want to kind of briefly go over this. Keep in mind, this is not finalized. This is I would say this is actually the second pass. The first pass was just straight up errors, and they corrected those. Tesla's at least communicating with you, and they're being straightforward with you, and they're showing you what they're going to be doing to your roof. So let's go get started. Okay, produce clean energy. It's honestly not super exciting. So this is my solar roof layout, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about kind of like the issues that they had in the beginning. So currently, this is the front of the house. I mean, it says right there, and this is my backyard. I mean, they nailed this. This is exactly my roof line. I actually went up through the roof and I measured it myself, and I did a drawing, and it actually was pretty close to this. So this is my roof line. This is the front of the house, and this is where they want to put the solar tiles. The interesting thing is that I think this is still wrong, because right at this spot, I'm getting power and there's tiles. So that means that this section right here needs to be corrected. I believe they did this, some trees, some shrubbery around here that throw a little bit of shade, and I want to avoid that. I want you to have the most efficient system. And lastly, if you're wondering why there's these two gaps, these are roof venting. This doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, because this roof venting, in my opinion, could just be moved over here, and then you could just go all the way up here, which that gets a ton of sun. So this is why I think you need to go back and forth with your advisor and talk to them about whether this layout makes sense. All right, so then they're gonna go talk about the roof area. Initially, it was 3,274, which is actually incorrect. It was 3,000, I think, on the estimate, but then they redesigned it and they actually took a look at it, and it reduced the cost. Solar size, I put in the size that my current bill reflects and what they're saying. I actually do want to size it up, and I need to talk to my advisor about that. Look at this. Changes to the solar size up to the maximum of 13.6 kilowatt can be made contacting your project advisor. Might be due to the size of the roof. I had one Powerwall in there. That might also be changed, so we'll see. And then they give you a quick installation overview. Basically, they're going to be removing, they're going to be waterproofing your roof. Whatever fixes they may need to do to your roof, they're probably addressing that in there too. They're going to be installing it, permitting it, and then they're going to be talking about the location. I really love this picture. I did want to show this. This basically is how they're going to be doing. This is your roofing material, your sub roof, quote unquote. Then they have some adhesive, and then it's a really neat system. It clips in these little footings there. Later on, there's a little bit of a technical breakdown, which is really cool. So in here, they're going to talk about your electrical upgrades. 2,000, between 5,000. I think the electric panel will have to be upgraded. Overlay repair, that's if they have to plywood it. Alternate roofing, my roof is a sloping down roof. It's not a flat roof, so alternate roofing means like if you have like a flat section or something like that. And then I have no skylights. I guess you could address that if you wanted to add some. You let me know in the comments below if that's useful. So this is where we're at. We're in the design stage. They're asking me to sign some paperwork, and I haven't done that, but I need to understand a little bit more what I'm signing here and what I'm gonna be getting. Really excited about this because Tesla's standing behind the product for 25 years, and I'm sure in 25 years or in 10 years even, they're gonna be having a different system completely. And something fails on version 3, they're probably replacing with a newer one. Tesla is an entirely focused company on innovation and bringing out new product. If you guys find this video useful, and if you guys are thinking about getting a Tesla solar roof or Tesla Model 3, anything Tesla related, link down below in the description. You guys can use that. But as I said before, if you guys have a buddy, a friend that you want to support, I think you guys should go down that route. All right, that's it for the video. I hope you guys found this information useful. I know I went back and forth a little bit here, and it was a lot of stuff that I just covered. I just want to make a very informed decision here, and I want you guys, if you guys are going down that route, make a very informed decision, and let me know in the comments below if any of that stuff I need to clarify if any of that stuff didn't make sense. I'm trying to figure this all out. It's just a lot. And if you find this video useful, share it with your buddy, consider subscribing. I hope you guys find it useful. I'll see you guys on the next one.